So, hello everyone, and welcome to Couch Surfing, which is a podcast where we recommend creators that we watch and tell you what they're about, the kind of style that they presented in, and videos that we recommend. Came up with this podcast as a solution to YouTube's horrible recommendation system because, being honest, there's a lot of times where you watch one person and that is the only thing that you get recommended for like the rest of time. So we thought it would be a good
True story.
idea. Yeah, we thought it'd be a good way to introduce people to some new content creators and just talk about people that we like. I'm Dalen.
I'm Jay.
I'm Caleb.
And I think we're gonna get started here with Jay.
Alrighty then. The content creator I would like to spotlight today for me
Okay, but
is
can we do this a little less like stick up the ass? It's just
okay, yeah.
yeah, just
Oh
talk
my
about
gosh.
it. We don't have to be professional. Just talk about it.
Anyways, so there's this guy on YouTube I very much appreciate named who goes by Woolie Versus. He does Let's Plays, really cool lore videos on video game lore like Kirby, and he's currently doing a series for Guilty Gear, which has been really interesting to see.
So does he kind of do like does he do like a wider variety of stuff, or is it
Yeah.
mostly just like fighting games at this point?
He does Let's Plays. He does them with a variety of different people now, compared to when he was on his old channel where he just did it with two other people. He does it with a guy named Reggie, and I can't remember the other two right now off the top of my head.
The unimportant ones.
Yeah.
apparently.
No, they're important. I just can't remember their names right now.
Not important enough for me to put it in my notes.
Yeah, I forgot to put it down in
Yeah.
my notes.
They're not.
I
They're
can
not. They
only
don't. They don't
remember
make the
Reggie off
cut.
the top of my head.
They don't have your
I
seal of
think Reggie's
approval
the
the way he
funniest.
does.
So he does. He doesn't stick to like one game either. When doing a playthrough, he has a schedule where he constantly has a rotation of different games he's playing through with different people.
Huh.
The personal one I love, and I always go back and rewatch, is his playthrough of Doom 2016 with Reggie, because a little fun fact about Woolie is that he grew up in a very religious family, and the stories I've heard him talk about his mom, that didn't make sense. But my point is, like, he's
just
grown up
just
in a
roll
very
with it.
religious
Just roll with
family,
it.
and he's just playing this fucking game from hell, and it's just so funny to me.
Well, he has a series called like Woolie versus God.
Oh, yeah.
Does he not?
Yeah, there's little animatics from the Super Best Friends days of Woolie just and Pat or Matt sometimes just talking about like Bible stories, and they're animated and they're fucking hilarious. My favorite one, I think, has to be Purgatory Does Not Exist. Because it just goes on how the Pope recently announced that Purgatory no longer exists, and that's that. And they just go on a whole tirade of like, okay, but what happens to all the babies that were there?
They don't exist. They're
They don't exist.
gone, reduced to ashes. They're just
Absolute
They don't exist
nothingness. Corrupted save file. Can we roll it back? No, we can't. Okay. Anyways, he also does. I really like the videos he's been doing, the lore videos. I go back and rewatch the Kirby ones because they're really interesting to see how fucked up Kirby is when you peel back the like really like sugar-coated layer of like friendliness that it is, and like actually read like character descriptions, it's like Lovecraftian in nature.
Huh.
I say, yeah, Kirby's kind of like an
and then
eldritch.
And then there's Guilty Gear, which I've watched a couple videos on the lore of Guilty Gear, and it's let's just say it's very like I make jokes about Kingdom Hearts and
Yeah.
Metal Gear being convoluted. Guilty Gear takes that and just fucking dunks on it. It's so fucking bizarre. But so damn endearing, and I like the way Woolie's been breaking it down. He's got 5 videos out right now, chronicling from like the first game in the PS2 era, currently up to I think Guilty Gear Zerd's Sign, which is I think Zerd's Sign. I think it is.
Isn't it Xrd?
Or I guess it is Xrd. I don't know. There's never a proper like pronunciation for that ever. I've heard both Xrd and Zard for some fucking reason. But yeah, I really like those videos because they're easy to consume, especially with things with how dense like Guilty Gear is.
Yeah, it's like reading
but also he's able to maintain actual entertainment in it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like reading a novel when you're trying to go through the story. There's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much stuff to read for a
Like-
fighting game.
I watched I watched the story mode for what's the one we both have on the PS4? It's Revelator,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like 6 hours long. I watched that from midnight to 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I had work the next morning because I didn't think it was going to be that long, or I thought I was going to be able to play a few matches and then pause the game or something. No, it's just a 6 hour long cutscene. Or multiple cutscenes, but it's just like, what? It's just a full-fledged fucking anime at this point. The game just comes with a full-fledged anime. That's
insane.
Guilty Gear at its core. And I also want to like spotlight Woolie's fascination with fighting games and how much it's kind of rubbed off on me and how much I very much want to get into fighting games more, even though I'm shit at them.
Trying to get that arthritis too, huh?
Oh yeah. Woolie does every Friday, him and Reggie spotlight a fighting game, whether it's like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or I think it was one point Kill la Kill or just Street Fighter, or sometimes they'll just find a bizarre, obscure fighting game to play, and they break down techniques. Woolie talks stories about, because he's so heavily involved in the fighting game scene. Like, he goes, like, before all of this shit in the last year happened, he went to EVO every year practically for, I don't know how long, but for a really long time. He's commentated fights. He knows his shit. And he's just an overall, like, positive person to watch.
I just realized
I really like
had like 200%.
all of his content, really. I can't really say I have a favorite, but like I really just enjoy Woolie and him just doing his thing.
So who would you say is like the recommended audience for his videos? Like, who do you think would enjoy that channel?
Anyone who likes, basically anyone who likes Let's Plays, basically, but also those who enjoy fighting games the most. I recommend Woolie a lot.
Okay.
I also forgot to mention he does also do a podcast called Super Castle Beast. I might fuck that up. I can't remember if that's right. I might have gotten a few words backwards, but he does that.
I think it's Castle Super Beast.
Yeah, I think it is Castle Super
I was
Beast.
going to make a joke that you were going to say Super Castle Beast, and then you just did it
did
of your
say
own
it.
accord.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, he does that too, and I enjoy that podcast a lot because it's really funny. I like the chemistry between him and his co-star Pat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lovely leprechaun of Canada.
Nice.
Fucking manlet. I love
Okay.
Pat.
So did you have a second channel that you were going to recommend, or is that the...
That's the one I have for this week.
Okay. Okay, I'll dive into mine then. So, how into true crime are either of you?
I really enjoy it a lot.
I've dabbled. I'm not like, it's not like a big thing for me, but you know, I enjoy it
Okay.
when presented.
So, how about like have you ever seen like interrogation videos at all? Like, have you ever seen like criminals being interrogated?
Yes.
As someone who grew up with a mother who watched like Discovery ID almost like religiously, yes, I have seen like interrogation room videos. It's fascinating, really.
Okay. So I found this channel a little bit ago, and you guys have probably had it in your recommended too, because he's popping up everywhere. But it's called JCS Criminal Psychology. It's I think John Can't Swim or Josh Can't Swim, something like that. And the reason I say it's popped up is because the his one video, what pretending to be crazy looks like, has been like everywhere, or what pretending. Yeah, I think it is what pretending to be insane looks like. So what he does is he takes these interrogation videos of you get people like Casey Anthony or Jody Avias or Chris Watts or Dahlia, I can't remember what the last name is, but he takes that footage and then he gives commentary over it, but not like excessive commentary. He kind of just, he'll add in stuff. He'll be like, this is the technique that they're using, this is why they do it, and this is what they're trying to do by doing this. So there'll be like a point where a detective leans in and he'll pop in. He'll be like, you know, this is to make the subject uncomfortable and to kind of like assert a dominance non-verbally so that they feel intimidated or something like that. You know, whatever cops do. But it's I really like it because it's a really straightforward and minimalistic. It's not like over the top someone that doesn't know when to shut up and just like constantly puts in it. Like he really lets the videos speak for himself, and when he does speak, he tries to make sure it's something of substance rather than just like empty filler words.
Yeah.
And it almost reminds me of like a documentary. Like if you'd watch anything like on Netflix where it's like you'd get them talking about the person, and then they pop up with like a picture of that person, and then it's basically something along the lines of like, and everything was okay until it wasn't.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
I know exactly the kind of the dramatized I know exactly what you're talking about. They kind of dramatize it to kind of
Yeah,
amp it up.
yeah. It's not quite like dramatized in his sense, but you know, it's just like that
Yeah,
style where like he just pops in. And it's just like,
he
hey
kinda,
guys, this is what I'm doing.
I think you showed me a video of his. I think last week. From what I was able to gather from it, it was like he kind of just broke it down, their actions and how they would basically respond, and what it meant, in a pretty straightforward, matter of fact way that didn't at all dramatize or rarely ever did dramatize it. And I actually did find it fairly entertaining and interesting to watch.
Yeah,
You should watch more.
it's
Really.
he has like such an addictive formula the way that he did it. You know, like a lot of people are memeing on it obviously because it's like it's everywhere because he's really playing the algorithm. But then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is really good. Does this guy have more? And then you just get lost in like a rabbit hole of it. And I think a big part of it is he has a really, really good script and timing for it. Like and I think another part of it is we're so curious about what goes on inside these big cases. You know, you don't typically see interrogation footage, or at least you don't like see much stuff from the perspective of the interrogator.
I see.
And so
Yeah.
it lets you really go into it. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. And
Now he's lost his train of thought.
I haven't lost my train of thought. It's
Okay,
fine.
good.
I just got interrupted. But yeah, so you rarely see stuff from the perspective of the interrogator. A lot of times it's just like court case, person did this, done. You don't ever get to see like the interrogation. So I think getting to see how these people act and perform under this pressure and how some of them are able to just blatantly lie about the things that they've done or like at least in their minds they're still innocent at that point. It's really interesting to see that, I think, because it's definitely like a darker side that you don't get to see too often.
Yeah. Like, kind of going back to talking about growing up with my mom watching, like, Discovery ID, watching shows like, there's this one YouTube channel that I think used to be, or is endorsed by, Chris Hansen. Fuck that scumbag. Who
Tell us how you really
covers
feel,
kind
buddy.
of, cases like that. Sorry, what?
I said, tell us how you really feel, buddy.
Yeah, no, fucking Chris Hansen's a scumbag. No, I don't need to get into that. I think it's called Crime Watch Daily, where they're it's kind of it takes like the shows that you would see on TV that does this kind of dramatized breakdowns of like murders.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of cuts them down to like shorter 10-ish to 15-minute-ish videos for YouTube. What the fuck? My Alexa went off.
Nice.
Technical difficulties.
Watching.
And it's just like, for me, I'm like, I don't mind the dramatization. It's just like, I would like to get to the point. And that's what I liked about when you showed me his video last week. It was just like, it got to the point. We got to see a lot more of, like, with that specific video, we got to see a lot more of, like, a person who's just down on his luck in a bad position.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really kind of, like, it was kind of a fair
Oh yeah.
point of view. I think it was the heroin addict.
Yeah, what is his name? I want to say it's like Brian or Jeff, something like that. Let me look it up. It is.
Jeff, heroin addict.
Yeah, Jeff the
Yeah.
heroin addict. You've all heard of him.
Yeah. No, it was just really interesting to see how the guy broke it down, because like it was very much a guy who's just in very rough positions, who knows his way through the system and just wants to get this shit done and move on. And you see that like he warned that he was going through withdrawals.
Mm.
And shit, and it's just like, wow, that, and kind of just like, it gave a good different perspective, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it
Where
was.
you're not just getting the perspective of like the court, and not just the perspective of the interrogator, but the interrogatee, basically breaking down the psychology to their responses.
Yeah, it was Jeff. He was really frustrating those interrogators too. They were getting really upset.
He was really smart.
Yeah,
that was the thing that got to me. He was really smart with his responses for the most part.
Wait, that was kind of the sad thing, is that a heroin addict is probably the smartest person on that entire channel in terms of the interrogations. But yeah, in terms of stuff to watch if you were going to get started on this, like for myself, I'm not going to recommend the obvious one because it's probably already been recommended if you have heard of this name at all. The one I think is really, really interesting is the bizarre case of Stephen McDaniel, because that's an interrogation of this. He was a stalker, and then he murdered the person that he was stalking, and then they caught him because of the way he reacted to he was having an interview with the news station around the area about it, and he heard that they found one of the body parts near campus, and he had like a mental breakdown and tried to pass it off as like sadness, because obviously that would freak you out if your evidence was found like that quickly. But
Yeah.
it's such an unnerving interview because
I think you were telling me about this.
yeah, everything he says, he just says it like monotone, and he just refuses to break eye contact, and I don't think he blinks often either.
An expressionless glare.
And like it was to the point he was making interrogators uncomfortable. Like you see them try to kind of like assert that dominant position, and like holding the eye contact to make them uncomfortable, because people that are guilty tend to have trouble holding it when they're saying something. And he did not look away at all, even when the interrogator looked away. Like he was still just staring right at him, and it was so weird because you get to see how he is in the interview. I think the weirdest thing is this, right? So you see him in the interview for the news, and he seems like normal, talkative, like a little anxious maybe, but like just like a regular dude, like the way he talks. And then he gets into the interrogation part, which they've already brought him in to, because he offered to help with the case. And the second time they bring him in as a suspect, he just like shuts off entirely, and he's like, no, yes, no. That's all he says pretty much the entire time. So I definitely recommend it. It's really fucking creepy, but I think it's a really well done one as well. And then I think in terms of like the other stuff to watch, there's a 3-part series on there called the Case of Chris Watts. Really unfortunate event that went on. I don't remember where it's at. I want to say Arizona. I think it was in Arizona, but it involved the father of the family and like his family, and he had murdered his wife and 2 kids to like start a new life pretty much. But he was trying to play it off like he was so concerned for them, and he just wanted them to come home and just like completely playing it up, but his mannerisms just did not respond well with his like what he was saying at all. Like you go. I don't think they showed it in the video, but he'd done like an interview at one point because I looked into the case more afterwards, and he had done an interview with the news, and it didn't come off as someone that was worried. It came off as someone that was like really smug. It's like that one dude at the party that's like talking to you and is just like, yeah, whatever, bro, and they're like crossing their arms and they think they're like the funniest person in the world. Like that.
Yeah.
That's how he came off in that interview.
My wife is dead.
Yeah, and it's just.
But I'm the one who murdered her.
He was so adamant about it, and I really liked the polygraph tester because I think she did really well at breaking him down. But in terms of like people I think would enjoy this, obviously, like if you like true crime, if you like criminal psychology at all, or if you just have like an interest in these cases, definitely think it's a good channel to check out because it has a lot of the more high profile ones, and it leads you to other channels that also do that as well, and I've done a very good job at it. So I think if you're interested in that, or if you like the show Mindhunters at all, because that's actually what got me into the show.
Nice.
I definitely recommend it because I think you're gonna enjoy a lot, and I think I'll move on to my second channel because I prepped too. So the other channel is a channel called Offcanny, and you know if you like Jackass at all, or if you've ever watched like I guess it's not really much like Dirty Jobs, but it's more like Try Guys, more like
Like Try Guys meets Jackass.
pretty much, yeah.
That's
Like,
pretty much it.
It dives into a lot of weird professions or just like out there professions, and then you have like the two extremely awkward people going into it and trying it out pretty much, not very successful either. But the channel came up because of Cow Chop around the time they were disbanding. Two of the members went off to make their own channel, and now it's just the one that runs it. But they have definitely like a very chaotic presence with it. It's weird because their videos are so chaotic, but at the same time they're done so professionally. Because the guy that runs it, his name's Jacob, and he was an editor for a long time.
Jacob.
And
It's a really good editor.
it's so weird because it's like there's so much stuff that's going on, but then he edits it together so cohesively that it just seems natural, even though you know there's stuff that's cut out from it, but you could never tell the way that he does it.
Yeah.
It feels fluid.
It's super fast paced, keeps your attention really well with everything. Like there's really well timed comedy, and then there's also a lot of effort put into like just the outside stuff, the after video stuff, like rendering stuff out. Jacob does a lot with the outro bits. He does a lot with like the editing. There was a video where he did like he hired a narrator, I'm pretty sure, and he rendered out an animation of this custom medieval time storybook, like a fairy tale, for one of his videos.
That's
So
amazing.
he goes all in.
It was really great.
And I think there's a really unique niche with this, just because it's not something I see a lot of people do. You see a lot of people doing challenges. You see a lot of people doing vlogs. You see a lot of people doing these like concept videos and whatever. Not a lot of them go out and are just like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go talk to this professional, and I'm probably not going to succeed at all, and I'm going to look worse by the end of this instead of looking better.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what tends to happen. Like it's usually like it's Jacob and then he has a guest, and they'll talk to a professional of something. Like their most recent one was sumo wrestling. And and they had one that was LARPing and dueling. They had one that was boxing. They had one that was the stripper taught them how to strip.
It's amazing.
And it's kind of just them making like bits out of it and like making fun of themselves more than the professions, and coming out of it with literally nothing, because they're not really great at anything, and I think that's the beauty of it. They're not trying to be they're not trying to be good at anything either.
Yeah, we watched a fuck ton of them the other day, you and I, and I would say my favorite video, the one that has the most heart, I believe, and I feel like the one I feel a lot of people should watch, is the boxing video. Mainly for Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what he goes through is an emotional journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the birth of a man.
See the mirth of a giraffe.
And then you see him punch the shit out of his friend.
Well, and I think the thing that I like about it, there are some things that they continue to do afterwards. I know Jacob's still boxing. At least I've heard he's still boxing. I'm not sure if that's still true at the moment. But I think my favorite thing about them is there's almost always some demonstration at the end of the video. And it's almost always just a disaster. Like, I think definitely the stripping video is probably my favorite demonstration, because they put on a show for their friends at the end of it, and it just goes into chaos. And I think it's definitely one of those channels that's going to lead the way for like not a new style of content. It's definitely like new.
Yeah.
It's been done before in different ways. I think it's a new approach to this style of content. And I think, for myself, I think the thing I can recommend for it is, like Jay said, I definitely think that We Learn to Box is a really good one. And the antithesis to that is We Bought a Car. They're two very different ends of how they present videos. Because you have We Learn to Box. So that's more like, it's almost like documentary style. Maybe not documentary, but like, it reminds me of like The Ultimate Fighter. You know, it's like a reality TV thing where you know there's going to be a fight at the end, and you're not really sure how it's going to go. And
yeah, for sure.
I think knowing the backstory behind it makes it a lot more real, because it was the last video that Jacob was going to do with Garrett, because they had a falling out. And so it makes it a lot more real, their fight at the end for it. But it's so it goes through kind of like their fallout and them deciding to settle things in the boxing ring. And obviously the only problem being is that neither one of them knows how to fight at all.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Rocky-esque. Like, it's so weird, because you have like Jacob, who's like seen as like the underdog, and then you've got Garrett, who's like the overconfident jock, and the only thing I think that switches is the heights, because Jacob is much taller than Garrett is. But there's really good cinematography. They have like little interview pieces in between of like the people that are involved. So you've got like the trainer, and for both sides, and you've got like the montage of what they go through, and you know, it all ends just with like the fight and like the aftermath of that. And I think it's a fantastic video. I definitely recommend that.
What I love about that video, real quick, is that it was able to balance comedy and like sentimental, like seeing a kid struggle with, you know, putting in the effort into actually learning how to box.
Mm-hmm.
The way they did it was just, it felt so perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Because like one of the trainers you just don't expect to be what you expect it to be, and it's great. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think I
don't wanna spoil it.
know what you're talking about, and I think
Yeah.
that is such a horrible way to present that.
I know. That is such a horrible way to present that.
No, because people are gonna watch it. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck was he talking about?" And you're just gonna look like an asshole. Because I know exactly who you're talking about in that video.
I mean, in the sense of like, it balances between like actually not taking itself seriously, and then it does take itself seriously. It does that so well.
Good save, buddy.
Is what I mean by that.
Good save, buddy. Yeah.
Anyways.
So the opposite to that, you have We Bought a Car, and it is the exact antithesis of We Learned How to Box. I describe it as like a pressure cooker, because the concept of it is that Jacob bought a car for really cheap, or got it for free, something like that. And the entire concept of it is just them being able to do whatever they want with this car. And it just escalates so much further than it seems to in the beginning.
Oh no.
There's also a lot between Jacob and Alec, who was still with the channel at the time, where they're kind of just messing with each other the entire time. I think that kind of adds to it. And it's really funny because it's almost like prophetic at one point, because one of the people in it says something earlier on in the video, and that's exactly what happens later on without him knowing. Like, because they asked him like what would make the car better, or like what would make it cool.
Yeah.
And he gives them an answer as a joke, and then that ends up being what happens later on.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
But
it's great.
It's that I think is the one that's most similar to like Jackass, and
Yeah.
it's just a good example of the chaotic but methodical, at least in the way that it's edited, because it goes so many different places, and yet it all flows so well at the same time that you don't even notice it. And I think it also just kind of like shows off Jacob's comedy style, because he's really awkward intentionally. And I've seen him described as somehow simultaneously the most alpha and beta person to exist simultaneously. And I think that's a very good summation of him. I think that describes him very well. Is the 1 minute the dude is going off and is like asserting himself in a really weird way, and it's just like this weird sense of dominance out of nowhere. And then on the other hand, you have a dude that's ordering a Happy Meal with yogurt from the drive-thru.
Apple juice. My apple juice.
Oh man.
But I think
that's-
I think overall, I definitely think it's one of those channels that's up and coming.
Yeah.
I think Jacob and anyone that he brings in are gonna give like a really good quality of entertainment. And you know, between the humor, the quality of the camera work, the uniqueness of just like what you get from watching it, like I think it all comes together really well. And
Yeah.
my only hope is that he gets a little more consistent with uploading. But I'm not gonna give too much shit on that, because I know he was having some mental health issues he took a break from. But I think once he gets going and gets into the swing of things, I think it's gonna be one of those channels. It's like just super consistent content. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, Caleb.
My eardrums are blown out now. I'm gonna have to turn that down and post.
Yeah, that was a pretty big blip on my Audacity screen.
Yeah.
I fucking imagine it was.
That's not even a peak. That's just like the whole mountain.
That was me sneezing away from the mic.
Yeah.
It's an entire mountain range.
Yeah,
But
that was...
that's pretty much all I have for like the channels that I have to recommend. And I know that And now we have the prepared one, the one that came in with a lot more than when I was.
Either one of us prepared.
Well, to be fair, I didn't want to like. I think yours are good for what you're showing because yours are just showing like bits of what the creator is. I can't really show it without spoiling the videos, so I think it works out.
Yeah. The
And
creators I
unfortunately,
have are good in like short video
I'm
format.
not gonna pull a 2-hour long fucking compilation up, so y'all could just take my bet.
well,
watch
yeah,
it.
and for anyone that's audio listener only, there are going to be just some videos that are playing, and they're just like from the content creator. You'll still be able to hear them.
Yeah, I'll describe pretty good of what's going on in them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they'll be on the VOD channel. So
yeah, okay. So my first video or my first creator, go to the Google Drive, everyone. You guys are just gonna watch this, and I want you guys to kind of blind react to this a little bit. Video 0.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first one, is this the one with him in the whatever the first link you sent me? That's the video, right? Or are you talking about the other dude? The TikTok.
other dude.
You're talking
The
about
guy-
TikTok?
The TikTok guy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right. I'm gonna pull it up in just 1 second. We'll sync it up.
I'm not getting my audio on here.
It's okay. I've got audio on the other end that I can just edit in.
Oh, I got my audio now.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, video 0.
3, 2, 1, play the video.
And tonight, it's robots. His dad can't even afford him a new torso. Disrespectful. Oh, don't mind us here. We're just putting loads in my dad. Tim's a bit of a fucking jerk. So a light post died.
Wait, I might have.
Mr. Bigwell kind of looks like the White Power Ranger. But
Oh my
fat.
God.
How fucking dare you bitch that Bigwell? He would be fucking
So for
ripped
audio
in half by
listeners,
now.
This is a guy on TikTok that.
Yeah,
It appears that he describes movies while high. That's what I'm guessing is like his whole thing.
So it's high movie guy. This guy. Let me clarify. He has 70 followers. He's in no way. But he's consistent. He's like making videos every week. So he gets high and he watches a movie and he films himself just like describing what he's watching.
Is he Canadian?
Yes, he is Canadian.
You know what? I respect that.
I've watched too much Trailer Park
respect
Boys. I recognize the accent.
Yeah, well, then he does the Trailer Park Boys voices a lot. Like on purpose. He's like a huge Trailer Park Boys fan.
Oh, there you go.
So this is not just me recommending him, but also more of he's a very small content creator, you know.
Much like us.
Yeah, he I would make some suggestions to him in his content. I think to see him on like a longer term, like more of a commentary track format, you know.
Oh yeah. I know.
Like a format where you can watch a movie, but there's video of him, but you have pulled up on your laptop or whatever, and while you're watching the movie, he's just reacting to it the entire time. I think there could be some good content there. But no, I like this guy because he's very minimal effort, but he's like very consistent. You know, he has to be high. He has to be watching a movie. He does his thing.
Hell yeah.
I
already like him already.
He's got some comedy to him. He's funny to listen to.
He is pretty funny. I did like that clip.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that his videos pretty much almost never shows the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he does lots of movies, and it's I really think this guy he's up and coming, you know.
Yeah, now I could just imagine him doing like a commentary track, and it's just like every 20 minutes he's just getting blasted again to like make it through.
I know.
You just hear fucking loud ass bong rips.
Yeah, this is what I really hope he moves to
right
something
next
like,
to the mic.
I really hope he moves to something like away from TikTok into like YouTube or something, because then he can do that. Because TikTok's super restrictive with like that kind of content. Like if you show any sort of like drug paraphernalia or anything, like you're
I heard
out.
that. I heard that, Jay.
I just blew into my
I
drink.
heard that.
I promise you it wasn't a bong.
Yeah, TikTok's very restrictive on that just because of like the origin of where it's based. Like
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
you have to be pretty subversive with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got
I imagine,
what, 4 more videos from him? What are these other ones?
Yeah. Okay. So this is just other examples, kind of.
Okay, let's pull up the second video.
Yeah. Don't breathe.
Tonight is Don't Breathe. Disclaimer, you still can breathe.
Oh yeah,
Right off the bat, there's no need to trip an alarm after sneaking out.
I remember
Wanna
this
go
movie.
to California, knows how to party. Robbing a blind guy. The old guy just fucking blew his brains away. He is fucking ripped for an old man. Oh yeah, welcome to his world, bitch. Can't see a thing. Don't move in the big red puppy.
Oh my god.
bitch. I like that. I like that line.
Oh yeah, something you'll notice. He has a girlfriend that's always in the background, but never
I've
like, fully
noticed.
visible.
I like how you can't hear the movie either.
Yeah. I know, he might as well just be sitting there, like, not even watching. It's just
He
him
looks
rambling.
so fucking blitzed. Holy shit.
Has he ever given less than a 4 out of 5, do you think?
Yeah, he gave Robots a 1 out of 5.
Are you fucking kidding me? I don't like this guy anymore. How do you not
Hey,
like
you know.
Robin Williams as Red Robot? I don't remember his name. Or Aunt Fanny.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Yeah.
got all that
Hate on
junk in a
Aunt
trunk.
Fanny.
Alright, so we've got
Aunt Fanny
Scooby-Doo
awakened
2.
something in me.
video number 3.
Tonight is Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Shaggy's always like, yeah. Can Seth Green get it?
Oh yeah.
What? Who is that scary
Can
guy?
Seth Green get it?
Oh, did they just sexualize Velma? Damn! The perfect snack for this movie. Is this a gay bar? That's awesome! Fucking Scooby is a pimp in this movie. I get it, it's the Guitar
Wait.
Hero.
What?
Oh, I forgot. I was like, wait, what movie are they talking about? And I realized it's Scooby-Doo 2.
Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo too.
Seth Green.
Oh my god. You know, it's funny. That movie
Blitz in
feels
every video.
like a fever dream, and especially because it was directed by James Gunn.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. No, it wasn't
Um,
directed by James Gunn. It was written by James Gunn. It
Still,
was directed by some fucking gnome name. I don't.
no,
fucking
it's still
know.
though. Like I
Still,
still,
though, it's written by James Gunn.
I still
so this guy's
remember.
bizarre
I
'cause
remember
it's
that movie.
humor.
Especially the scene where he's jousting with the knight on the motorcycle.
Yes.
Like,
I remember the second Scooby-Doo movie because of the one Shaggy scene.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just embedded into my memory. I can never unsee it.
Is the Who's Your Mommy one from the third movie or the second one?
There's only two.
Yeah, probably.
No, there was the island one.
The island one was the first one.
No, because there was
the second one.
there was the one with Scrappy.
No, the island one was the first one. The second one had Seth Green in it.
What was the one that
I
had
know
Scrappy
this
do?
Because I seen both in theaters. Are we really
Okay,
having this
moving.
conversation?
No, moving on. We're here to talk about the creators,
Yeah.
not argue. Okay. Last video from this guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
School of Rock.
Tonight
School
is the School of Rock. I didn't know Picasso had guitars. These damn kids go to school in a castle. Freddie Jones kind of looks like Malfoy.
Like how
They go to school
he's
in a
Freddie
castle and the
Jones.
guy's Malfoy.
Like he's got the
You're the
headset
man.
on now.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
cool, the Asian kid plays the piano. Who would have thought? Buddy, can I be in the band? Let's rock today. The kid's
Sick
dying in the
PewDiePie
street.
chair, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, movie's over, and it was hardcore. 5 minutes inside, baby. Jack Black does it again.
Jack Black does it again!
Yeah, I love this guy's energy. I think this guy
I
needs
like
to be
that energy,
found.
yeah.
Like someone needs to find him, and that's why. Like, I'm not saying his content's perfect or it's the best, but I think he has
Such a
something
positive-
that he needs to. People need to discover this guy.
I feel like if he like
Positive, funny stoner
refines his
vibes.
refines his commentary,
Yeah.
I think then we get to like truly see where he's at.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so good. I want to watch this guy watch Trailer Park Boys.
He's in
that
it.
would
I don't know
be-
what you're talking about.
That would be so fucking
He does the
meta,
Bubbles
Caleb.
voice so much.
Yeah.
That would be so meta.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
so,
moving on to my second creator. This guy, Therapy Gecko. I'm going to talk about him first a little bit.
okay.
So he makes his state. I'm just gonna clarify because he states this a lot. He wants his audience to be very understood. He is not a therapist. He's not a real therapist.
Yeah, he's a gecko.
Yeah, he's a therapy gecko. He also wants to clarify. He always clarifies he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he doesn't know what therapy gecko really is. Most of the time. But usually, so what he does, he gets on live stream. He sits in a chair in front of a green screen. The green screen usually has some stock footage of something wacky in the background. Sometimes it's the sky. Sometimes it's like some Chinese mall. Sometimes it's a koi pond, And he always has a subject. Usually a question he asks his viewers. And he has his phone number, and you can call him. Talk to him, and the characters that this guy gets in his streams is insane. His streams are popping every week. He streams I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he's always getting crazy things. And he takes these clips and he puts them into TikTok or Instagram Reel format to advertise for himself. But it's amazing because every stream he gets probably 5 or 6 different really good clips that he can post, and it's just of people talking, and it's so interesting. So let's click on the first link.
I say I only really listened to the first one. It definitely seemed interesting.
Yeah.
Pulling it up now.
You're the only person I've talked to today besides people on the computer.
I have bad news for you.
Okay.
I count as a person on the computer.
That's Psy, man. That's Psy at the end. I appreciate how
Oh,
committed
man.
he is to
Yeah,
being a gecko.
I know.
Got
He paints his face. He says a lot that he's because he streams 3 days a week as Therapy Gecko. That the green face paint never can fully come off because he's always putting it back on. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
he never has enough time to wash it off fully, and it's maddening.
You're kind of just walking around, walking around a Tesco
Yeah.
with a little bit of excess lizard on your face.
But yeah, no. So I have a lot of clips here because it's a variety of stuff because there's different themes. Sometimes he's giving it legitimately good advice, but sometimes he's just trolling someone, or sometimes he's really disappointing someone by telling them that he counts as someone online. All this stuff, and So let's click on the second one.
How often would you say the ratio is to disappointment to genuine advice?
So I'd say it's a pretty good 50-50, honestly.
Okay, well, let's find out. Let's flip that coin on the second one. See what this is.
I
would
wasn't
say this
allowed to
one's
have
actually
sugar
kinda
as a
even. This
kid,
is in a
so
third
I was very
category, which
repressed.
is
And
crazy
every time we went
stories
to a
from
public
strangers.
restaurant, I like to crawl under the table and find the softest, most recently chewed pieces of gum and pop them in my mouth. The older they were, the worse they were, so I was always going for like the freshest pieces.
And in your experience, which flavor was the most delicious?
Oh, definitely minty ones. They seem to hold
What?
more of their mintiness than like the fruity gum.
You should reevaluate your relationship with your parents.
He's he seems genuinely concerned for a
I am-
second.
I know.
I am. What?
I told you.
It's amazing what people admit to when they're anonymous. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. There's
Look
a
at
level
4chan.
of anonymity because there's nobody can see your face if you call in. It's just your voice, and nobody knows who you are.
Kind of happy no one saw my face watching that video. It went through a real big range of emotion.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Oh, man.
I'm still reeling. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
this third clip really demonstrates how not everyone that comes in here is a good person.
Okay, let's see what this person has to say.
What's your guilty pleasure, Brenna?
I guess I like it when babies cry because they're little bitches. Makes me happy when their life is miserable.
Why do you hate babies so much?
They're kind of annoying and they draw on the walls. They're always like glued to their iPads. Like, have you ever been in a restaurant and a kid's blasting a YouTube video on full blast?
I didn't know that babies used iPads. What's your message to all the babies out there?
You're all freeloaders because you don't pay taxes.
Amen.
You know, you say bad people, but I kind of agree with her.
Oh well, yeah. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not a bad person too. I definitely.
I'm not a bad person, but I would punch a baby.
Oh man.
I personally think we should, instead of taxing the rich more, tax the babies more. What are they doing with all that money, huh?
Yeah. They say it takes $1 million to raise a baby. What are they doing with that money?
Yeah.
Huh?
Moving on.
So this next clip does involve a hard C word usage. Just gonna warn if the C word triggers you. Sorry.
If you've made it this far, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next clip.
My roommate took my things from my room and threw them away because she just assumed I had already moved out and left. She had sent me a nasty text while I was on my shift and said, "Hey, I think it's really fucked up that you left all your shit here for me to clean up." And I wasn't even moved out yet. We still had 2 more days.
Did you throw away anything important?
Yeah, I have like asthma medicine that she threw away. And I was like, "You can pay me back for that." And she said, "I'll pay you $50."
When's the last time you talked to this person?
A year ago. They tried to reach out to me through a mutual friend, and I ended up calling her the C word, and I never meant it more than that moment. Yes.
It's fun to call someone.
He's right.
It kind of is.
It is.
Yeah.
I have no problem
he's-
with calling someone that when they rightfully deserve
Oh,
it.
He says it so matter of factly. I
Yeah.
think I can appreciate that.
Like, I'm gonna fucking say it now. I don't fucking care about calling anyone a cunt. It's fun.
Yeah.
Just saying the word cunt is fun in itself.
Boy, I
Yeah.
can't wait to edit this later.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be funny.
Yeah. No. So that's he gives good advice. You know. Now this next one is I just think this one was funny. The third to last one.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what we got.
I like to pee in the shower. I know you're going to be like, everyone pees in the shower, but I only pee in the shower. It's just more fun. It's like a urinal, but at your house.
What do you do if you're like out in public and you need to use a public restroom?
I'll pee like in a restaurant, but like if I'm at a friend's house or my parents' house, I pee in their tub. I don't get like pleasure. Like I'm not like some sicko. It's just more convenient.
You know, you also are saving a lot of water.
I think so too. I just
Yeah,
have to
you're
turn
saving
the
a
tub
lot of
on
water
for like
that
a
way.
split
Yeah,
second,
technically,
and it
yeah,
washes
you
it
are
all
saving
away.
water.
The average toilet uses like
Although the
a gallon
question
of
is-
water. I'm kind of saving the environment.
All right, but do you poop in the bathtub?
No,
No, you don't
come
fucking
on,
waffle
that's
stomp your
disgusting.
shits, dude. What? Come on. What, are you
Okay,
not normal.
I have one question. Is he standing in the tub? Or is he like outside of
That's
it?
a good point.
That's a good
Are you
question.
standing or in the tub, or are you standing outside the tub?
That's the one question I have from that clip.
That's a good
'Cause, like,
question.
He didn't specifically say you had to be taking a shower.
He
Yeah.
just said he peed in the shower.
Like he said, if I'm at a friend's house or my parents' house, I just pee in their tub.
Yeah.
He's not taking a shower. He's just peeing in their bathtub.
How upset would you be if I peed in your tub?
I mean, as long as you got good aim, I don't care.
Yeah,
Aim for
so
the
like,
fucking drain.
I guess I don't care, but it still seems weird.
It's weird,
Mm-hmm.
but like,
See, it's like a philosophical question.
as long as
here,
you
like,
aim for the drain and
Which
get as
came
close to
first,
the drain
the
as possible,
toilet
I
or the
think
tub?
it's fine. But like, granted, like whenever you start up a shower, or when you get in the shower, you have to start up the tub, and it'll eventually wash out by the time you start your shower.
Well, I feel like the problem people have with it is like the equivalent of you doing that in olden times was like you pissing in the water hole.
Yeah.
So, I don't.
You're not drinking the fucking bath water.
Okay, but you might be cleaning yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to have this argument right now.
Anyways,
So, okay, this
on
is
to the next clip.
second to last one. So this one, just preface it with a lot of his callers, like probably 50% of them, are on some form of drugs. Whether they're on mushrooms or weed or whatever, they are doing drugs.
Hell yeah.
So this one is a good example of that.
All right, let's pull it up.
I've been suspicious of my roommate kind of getting with my girlfriend recently, so I kind of decided to get back at him. He hates it when I steal his food, so I went into his room when he wasn't there, and I found some brownies. They tasted a little off. I'm kind of feeling a little off because of it, but I feel like I'm lucky tonight because I'm pretty sure that God's real and I'm about to meet him.
How many brownies did you eat, Kyle?
Like 4? They weren't that big.
Okay. Well,
Well, I think
the line.
I think God's coming.
I think
should
God's real and
probably go
I'm
treat him
about to
properly.
meet him.
okay. Go tell God I said hello. Stay safe, Kyle. Don't do anything crazy.
I will.
Stay safe, Kyle.
Thank you, Gecko.
Stay safe.
Of course. You have a good night, Kyle.
Thank you. You too.
That's
Oh,
great.
Concerned
no.
about Kyle. I'm
So what I
concerned
love
God will
about
do
great.
to
what I
you.
love about Therapy Gecko is his reaction is always so calm.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm concerned about what God's going to do to Kyle. It's so
He's
good.
definitely he's got a good thing going on here. With,
He's
like,
got a
his-
really good vibe.
Yeah.
Well,
with
he
the
kind of
chaotic-
gets
Yeah.
content just.
He's so.
Yeah.
He's got the really zen music in the
Yeah.
background.
Well,
That was Skyrim
He's
music.
just vibing.
I think the thing is,
Skyrim music.
Yeah, that was Skyrim music. I think the thing as a content creator for the content he makes, it's good that he's not chaotic. He's very calm and very reasonable all of the time. Because his content, the chaotic level of it is the people that come in,
Mm-hmm.
where he's actually like a level of stability, and I really appreciate that about like what he does. But so the last clip is probably just one of the best stories that's happened on this stream.
This is one of the longer ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pull that up now.
I've been feeling some tension with my roommates. I live with 3 other girls. I've been feeling like they kind of want me out, and I can't tell if I'm paranoid or not, but this past month, I've had like 3 allergic reactions where I've had to go to the hospital, and my roommates know I'm deathly allergic to peanuts. So, like, I think it's weird that they're trying to nudge me out of the apartment, and there's all these coincidences of there being traces of peanuts in my food, and I don't know what to do about it.
You should not be living with these people.
But, like, it's a good location and good rent, and, like...
No. You should leave.
Are you sure?
Positive.
What would you do if you were in the situation?
I would leave. There's no reason to keep yourself in a poor situation just because you want to win. Because the prize is that you get to live in fear.
I don't know if she took that advice too well.
Yeah, I don't know, but he, like, you can tell he almost, like, broke character because, like, is legitimately, like, needed to give that advice. Like, she is in a seriously, like, terrible situation, it sounds like.
Well, it reminds me of Parasite. Like, that's literally, like, a thing in the movie Parasite. They, like, the maid is allergic to peaches, and they, like, the two kids to kick her out, they fucking scrape some peach fuzz off with a razor, and then they blow it on her neck so she has an allergic reaction when the mom gets home, so she fires her. And it's like the exact same thing, but it's real and like would probably kill you.
Yeah.
You don't just accidentally get a peanut in your food.
No.
Yeah, no, that's like a serious issue.
I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, so that's therapy, Gecko.
And for those listening, his Twitch is Lyle Forever. Lyle Forever.
Lyle Forever. He does other content, like, so when he's not doing Gecko streams, he does like experimental streams. He has one that's like is the Gecko, but it's he sets up blind dates and moderates them. That one's okay. He does some like cooking streams and stuff, you know.
As the Gecko.
Yeah, and this summer actually he's doing what he's calling Gek Across America. Where he had a bunch of viewers submit applications from telling him what state they're in and what activity they would be doing if the Gecko visited them. So he's going to be visiting some of his viewers in hopefully every state this summer.
Great. Caleb's gonna get to meet the Gecko.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the Gecko on the corpse of Live Leak.
Yeah, so hopefully if he doesn't die, hopefully that'll be good to watch. Good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Lyle Forever therapy Gecko.
Yeah, I think he's definitely interesting.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I like
Who would you
that just bizarreness.
Who would you say is like his ideal audience? Do you think it would be more people that are looking to call in, looking to get something out?
So
or,
I would say if you're looking to call
your worst secrets.
Yeah, if you're looking for therapy, if you're looking for like some free cheap therapy, this is not for you. This is like, don't go in here expecting anything therapeutic like.
Yeah, go on to BetterHelp.com instead and get people that are just as untrained giving you therapy.
Yeah,
instead.
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Hashtag sponsored.
Not sponsored. Ignore that.
But no, I would say he's probably best suited for. Oh, my recording stopped for some reason.
It's okay. I'm still recording.
He comes off as the kind of guy that people who enjoy Hannibal Buress in the Eric Andre show would enjoy.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably a good example. As well.
That's the kind of vibe I got, anyways.
Yeah. As well, I think anyone can enjoy him though, because I think like realistically, he's pretty universal. Like whatever, if you have issues that you want to like kind of talk about, like as long as not like something that you should be talking to a real therapist about. Or if you just want to listen to all the crazy stories, I like listening to it because to me, it's got a good vibe. It's very relaxed. It's good to have on in the background while you're working,
Yeah, I feel like it could be fun to just sit and listen in and kind of like
Yeah.
you might get the chance to hear something that's just off the walls,
Oh yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I mean, generally, whatever it is, he keeps it entertaining.
And then
Like
you
he'll
get
cut his call
to
short if it's not like interesting.
yeah. Then you get to send pogs in the chat when
Yeah,
someone's having like a mental breakdown.
it's true.
Pog Champ is just having a
Poggers.
Yeah, that's Lyle Forever. He's on pretty much every platform. But he mainly Twitch streams. He has, and then he'll edit the Twitch streams down into like an hour long.
I was gonna say, does he have like a highlight channel on YouTube?
Yeah, so YouTube, he basically posts highlights. So he'll stream 3 days a week, and he'll cut those 3 streams into 1 hour of like the best calls. And then he'll upload those to YouTube and to as audio files on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and stuff.
Okay. Is it still Lyle Forever on the YouTube as well?
Yes, it's Lyle Forever everywhere.
Okay. But I think that pretty much does it. I think for the first podcast, you know, that's our recommendations for this week.
Pretty good first episode.
Thinking of
about a little over an hour.
Yeah, thinking of keeping this to Thursdays. Time is to be determined. We're gonna have to figure out the setup a little bit easier, but hopefully we should be able to do these a little more regular and come through with just interesting recommendations of people you might not have heard about and can check out. So be on the lookout for more content, and we will see you next time.
Catch you guys later. All right, 3, 2, 1.